Welcome to Women in Paint. Whether your paint story is dripless or an old school mix of project management, business ownership, or modern estimation, the stories of women in paint are now part of the industry's rising success. We'll educate, encourage, and promote diversity and gender equality by giving you a behind the scenes look at our proven skills, business acumen, and driving force that propels anyone to find meaningful opportunities and a career path that challenges lives through paint. Now let's welcome your host, Michael Cheney.
All right, welcome to the show. I'm here with a woman who inspired me when I first met her at Women in Paint, and I think she's going to inspire you too. Melissa, thanks for joining me today.
Oh, thanks for having me, Michael.
You got it. All right. Who is Melissa Rice and what is your business?
Well, I'm Melissa Rice. My business is RR Painting Express. It stands for Rice and Rivera. So my last name is Rice, and my kid's last name is Rivera. Painting Express. I mean, I kind of came up with the Express just because I wanted to gear towards like people that were trying to get smaller projects done quickly and so forth. It was kind of like a rebrand idea, but. And yeah, woman owned, passionate about painting.
Love it. Love it. You're a rock star. Why painting? I kind of know a little bit of the backstory, but most people I know don't start out at a young age and say, I'm going to grow up and I'm going to be a painter. So how did you really land in this industry?
So the father of my children, he was a painter. For my first husband, I guess. I wasn't really involved in it much, but I was always kind of around that industry. About maybe 5-6 years into that, he was working a lot as an apartment painter for a larger contractor here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And at that point, I did become involved. They needed a new office manager, and I was pregnant with nothing to do and extra income. Why not?
Yeah.
So I went in there and I kind of revamped. They didn't really have like a good system for invoicing or for pricing or for payroll. So I kind of reorganized it as I could. I mean, I didn't necessarily have like experience in that, but I was like, if I'm going to be in here, this needs to make more sense. And so I started getting a little more experience on the administrative side, pricing, how to invoice, how to market in that industry, in apartment painting. And at one point, I told my then husband, well, why don't we just get a couple properties ourselves, and instead of getting 50% for painting them, get 100% or whatever, or pay somebody else and pocket the 50%. And so it was pretty simple. I mean, I did all we had to do with the DBA, and I made like a price sheet. And way back then, they didn't really like do email and all that. So I looked up like on Apartment Finder, got lists of apartments. I got their fax numbers, and I started faxing our pricing sheet over. And then I printed out copies and I gave it to him and a partner. Who they have for painting, or so forth. So we did that. That company was M&M Custom Paint. So that was like kind of the origin. It was Melissa and Manuel, which is his partner or our partner. And that was just apartment painting. I still didn't do the painting myself, but I was getting a little bit more experience in the industry. And then I ended up on my own.
Yeah.
One day.
Well, I will say, you are the first person that I've ever heard. Now, I know other people have probably done this, but that had acquired customers through a fax machine. So I love that. I love it.
Like, well, how can we get like right into this person's desk?
Yes.
Because sometimes you'll go into the office and they're like, oh yeah, the manager's not here, they're busy, whatever. And I'm like, the boss is going to go right onto their desktop.
Exactly. No, I love it.
There's a price sheet with our letterhead and our phone
Yeah.
number that's sitting in on there. And I started eventually just going ahead and sending a copy of our insurance because like that was the first thing they're always asking, like if you
Yeah.
had the correct insurance coverage or stuff like that. And so I was like, here, we're just gonna bypass those steps. Here's our price. Here's our insurance. If you like, if our price is better, just go ahead and put us in your system. Like,
Yeah. No, I love that. Yeah, that's a great story. So it sounds like when you were working for that company and you were doing their invoices and stuff, you're seeing how much they're paying, but you're also seeing that your Manuel is getting a small slice of that. So you're like, forget that. We need to find our own work. I love it. You started faxing people, you started building a customer base, and then it went from the two of you working together to you working alone. Is that how it went?
yeah. So basically, I mean, to avoid conflict, that this other company was working with, so I was like, well, we just won't market to them, just to
Yeah.
be fair, so they're not like, you just came in here to learn and pay.
Yeah. Sure.
So I did that, and then we started M&M Custom Paint. That was our apartment building, or apartment painting company. Ran that for a couple of years. Manuel moved out of state. We continued on for a while, and then the industry just kind of dwindled. I don't know. There was a lot of more competition coming in. Wasn't becoming as profitable anymore because they were asking like for more and more insurance requirements. Like I said, a lot of competition was coming in. The prices were going down instead of up over the years. It wasn't really making sense. And at that time, some legal issues happened with my then husband, and he ended up getting deported. So I mean, he got arrested one day on a job site.
Mm,
Uh, had like a dispute with another contractor or something. So he showed
okay.
up, got arrested, and he ended up getting deported. So I literally ended up on my own, like from the morning to afternoon.
That's wild. And
Um,
so
I
were you
remember having to go pick up my kids from school and explain to them why dad wasn't coming
oh
home.
my gosh. So
Yeah,
were you painting at that point or you were still kind of doing the admin stuff?
I was just doing admin stuff. I hadn't really painted up to that point. I would visit job sites regularly, so I knew how a lot of the processes went or how the painting was done. Um, but then again, I wasn't doing it myself, and also it's way different apartment paintings
Yes.
rather than house painting. Uh,
Yes.
so yeah, I ended up on my own. Sitting here like crap. Like
What are you gonna do?
I have like $30 in the bank. We didn't get paid for that job. The guy would be like, I sued him. Hey, I sued him. I won. I still didn't get paid. Whatever.
Oh my gosh.
Judgment's there. But it was like $7,000 and didn't get paid. I had like $30 in the bank, and my credit was shot. I have no family here. I have nothing. I had nothing. I didn't even have like a card in my name, something that I could just like sell and make some quick money or something. And so I'm over here having to explain to my kids why their dad's not gonna come home. I'm over here with bills coming up I didn't get paid for the job
Hmm.
we got arrested from, and have no credit, no family, like nothing. So I'm like, well, what the heck am I gonna do?
What was your like, if you can remember, what was the story you were telling yourself? Were you like, what was it? Like, did you feel like you had some strength? I mean, obviously you eventually got yourself out of that, but like in that moment, what are you feeling?
Oh, well, first of all, I was trying to see if there was anything that I could do to help him legally.
Mm,
Um, he wasn't a great person. I suffered a lot of domestic violence and other abuse in that relationship. But I was really young when I met him. I was like 16.
mm,
I had my daughter Susanna when I was 18. I was 19, and I don't know. I guess I was kind. It was a little bit of kind of like Stockholm syndrome type of thing going on, where I was kind of like in this bubble, and so I was still trying to see if I could help him, even though like the
yeah,
relationship wasn't great. Um, but he provided even even through all the bad stuff. So um, I just remember like I can't let my kids go through this. I can't let my kids suffer because of things that they can't control or aren't their fault. And I some of the memory is not there, but I do remember clearly just pacing around in my kitchen. And we had changed the garage door to kind of like it's supposed to be a solid door, but we had the door where it had it has the glass in it. You
Mhm.
could see into the garage. In the kitchen, you can go into the garage. And I'm sitting there and I'm pacing back and forth. What am I gonna do? Like, I don't have a career. I don't have like any kind of employment experience. Well, not much to like find a job. I'm like, what am I gonna go do? Make 7, 8 bucks an hour in Texas is like really cheap. Like, that's not gonna work. That's not even gonna be enough for rent. And then I'm thinking, and who's gonna take care of the kids? I don't have anybody to help me with, dropping off and picking up from school. And when you get fired the first week for missing hours and stuff,
Yeah.
and I'm sitting there and I look through the garage door and I'm like, I got painting tools. I had a garage full of tools. I was like, I guess I'll go find some painting jobs. I was
Wow.
like, that's a way I could make some money kind of quickly, and maybe make enough money to pay some bills,
Yeah.
versus an hourly job. And I was like, I'm sure I could just kind of make my own hours if I'm dealing directly with the customer, with the homeowner or something. So that's where I got the idea. And
That's wild. So you're in this moment, you see the painting tools, you're like, I at least have these tools. Do you remember the first job you got
yeah,
in tell me about it and how'd you
yeah.
get it?
So first of all, I kind of rebranded. I was like, I know I don't want to paint apartments because I had been out on the job sites and I knew it was just like rush, rush. It's going up and down stairs with heavy stuff with the freaking paint sprayer and like bucket of tools and it's cheap and like I'm not doing that. But we had a few contacts of like side jobs that we had done, so I started reaching out to them. Hey, it's Melissa. When all those lights, we're kind of branching out to residential stuff now. Do you guys have any small projects we need done? That could be a small bathroom or accent wall or front door, something like I knew that would be like manageable that I could figure out.
Yeah.
I get this job. This lady contacts me back and she's like, "Oh yeah, I really, really wanted to get my kitchen cabinets done." And I'm like,
For your first
"Yeah."
job.
I was like, "Oh shit." Like, okay, yeah, I could do that. I was like in my head, I'm panicking. 'Cause I'm like, I mean, I know how it's done, but I was like, that's kind of a
Yeah. That's a
big
tricky one for your
deal,
first one.
maybe not the first job that you want to be like figuring things out on in somebody's house. Are you back? It cut out a little bit. There
Yeah,
we go.
it did cut out. That's okay. We
Okay.
can keep rolling. So you find someone that wants you to do cabinets. You're like, oh crap, I've never done cabinets, but I think I know how to do it. Did you do these cabinets?
Yes, but like literally everything that could have gone wrong went
Oh
wrong.
my gosh.
It, so I go, I'm getting in there. I'm prepping. I've got everything taped off. I've made like plastic walls and everything. I've put the cabinets. The countertops, the floors. I'm over here sanding stuff down, cleaning the grease off, whatever. And I've got some Kills primer that I'm put on there, some oil based primer. I'm
Yep.
like, all right, I got my respirator and I'm ready to go. And I go to prime the the spray. Something comes loose on it. It
Oh
starts
my god.
spraying everywhere.
Oil-based paint.
Oil based paint. At the same time, the customers they weren't home, thank God.
Yeah.
But oops, my earphone. Hold on. They weren't home, thank God. Their dog somehow gets out of the enclosure that they had left them in, charges through the plastic wall.
Yeah.
There's there's oil paint going everywhere. I mean, thank God I had covered everything well, but the dog comes in.
The dog got in the paint?
He got in the paint.
My
I'm
God.
sitting here trying to clean him up gently, with this probably stain. I've got what,
Oh
8
my God.
dinners? Fine. I don't want to smother the dog in paint.
Yeah.
So I'm over here. I was like gently trying to get it off of him, and then gosh, and get him out and recover everything, and then I'm like finally ready to start again. Spray whatever. Good, great. It
Okay.
dries. I sand it. I go in with the paint. Run City. I went rookie mistake. I went in like too heavy, thinking,
Ah,
oh yeah, it looks great. It's covering
yeah.
6 tile glasses. This is beautiful.
Just running. Oh
I'm
my
over here with
gosh.
a little mini roller trying to fix so it doesn't dry with all the runs. And I mean, they got like a solid 4 coats on the
And I mean, now you can laugh at it. I know at that moment you were probably just,
stressed. And I was like, do I just give up and be like, you know what? I bit off more than I could chew. I'm sorry. I really needed to work, but I, yeah, I was thinking about it.
right.
And then I was like, no, I gotta bug this out, figure it out. You know how it's done. And if you don't just try to do it and figure out and learn from what you did wrong, you're never gonna learn. So
Wow.
I just kept going with it. I was just so thankful they weren't home because I probably would have been fired right away.
Right.
And
So you got through this job. Did you get paid?
and that was my very first job. It came out beautiful. I even drilled holes and put hardware on there for them. And that was my first time using a drill too.
I can say I've never heard a story like this. Do you remember how much you got paid?
No, I probably charged them something cheap, like $1,200 or so. I
Probably,
don't know.
right? Like we've
'Cause
all done.
I was just using like, trim paint or something. I didn't
Yeah.
have all that knowledge, and we didn't have uh, such easy access to other coatings back then. But
Yeah.
I went back to their house, I believe, 2 years ago.
No way.
Yep, they called me back and they said, "Hey, Miss, are you still painting?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm still painting." I said, "We want to paint our whole house." I went back and painted all their ceilings, walls, trims, and everything in their whole house. And those cabinets
S-
look
Still
great
looking?
still. I
That
felt, I
that is
felt
the best
20.
story.
I feel like those weird guys in the painters group, like, well, I've been using this product for 15 years and I've never had any callbacks, like,
Right.
maybe that wasn't the best, or wouldn't be like my first choice of paint nowadays that I know better. But
It worked.
and that lady cooks a lot in there, and stuff like she really uses that kitchen. And so I was like,
That is
I
wild.
felt pretty good. I was like, all right,
I bet you did.
I did that.
I mean, you didn't tell them the story by chance, did you?
Heck no.
I mean, I don't know. Years later, they might have enjoyed being part of your, new path in life. But that is wild, Melissa. But
Yeah.
honestly, you know what? Like, I can tell you're a fighter. I can tell, like, you've got this drive and this determination. And honestly, that story just, that's the example right there of how I've, our first impression, my first impression of you. It's that you're a fighter and you're going to get it done. Well, so your first job was the cabinets. Tell us where R&R Painting Express is today. What does your business look like today, and what kind of work are you doing now? Are you still doing cabinets?
Yeah, I still get some cabinet jobs, but I haven't really niched out, I guess is the word, into like a specific area.
Yeah.
I'm wanting to. I don't think that it'll be in cabinets. I think it'll be more like decorative finishes. I'm
Mm,
really interested in kind of like lime washes and plastering and building out like TV walls. And
mm.
I really like kind of like remodeling, like redoing closets and pantries and things like that. So I have a feeling that's where we're gonna go, but I don't necessarily have like a set plan in place yet. It's something that's just kind of going on in my head. But right now, Still doing residential and small commercial painting, inside, outside. I can say I do get to be a little more selective about the jobs that I take. I kind of have learned how to screen calls and
Hmm.
kind of just necessarily want to be up on two-story roofs or like it's hot. It's like 100 something today.
Yeah.
Back then I did that. Yeah, just or like little, you know, not that I turn. If I have a day off or something, I'll go do a small job. But you know, it don't. I have to have kind of like a minimum now.
Sure.
So I do tell people, I do have a minimum. If that's
Yep.
okay with you, then
It has to
I'll
make
just take
sense.
care of that hole in the wall or whatever.
Yeah.
But um, but yeah, I really enjoy just bringing people's vision to life.
I love that. So do you work by yourself still?
So I have a full-time guy on with me. He's been with me for about going on 5 years.
Wow. Amazing.
And I've had some people on and off with me. I've tried to hire. It's tricky.
Hmm.
It's hard to find people that kind of check all those boxes. I want somebody that's reliable. That they can show up. I
Hmm.
want somebody that has some good values because maybe I'm not always going to be on the job site, but we're in people's houses.
Yeah.
It's not unoccupied areas. These are people's houses with their possessions, their kids, their pets, their space. And
I like
so you can't just be bringing anybody in. And it's my reputation. So it just really, people in the end, I've always said, like, you don't have to have all the skills. You can learn, I can teach, I'm willing to, but you have to have that pride in your work.
Yeah.
And that's what's kind of missing nowadays. I'm like the old person again. Everybody got no
You
pride
sound
in
like
their
a,
work.
you sound like an old person who uses a fax machine.
Here we go. Hey, you know what? I used to hang up flyers in the stores with the little, you can pull the tab off with the phone number.
Yep. Yep. You've been around for a while.
Yeah.
Um, but you've got this nice business, you've got steady work, you've got someone that works with you for 5 years. I mean, that's absolutely something to be proud of. What do you hope like the next couple years has in store for you? It sounds like maybe you want to get into some decorative finishing. What is the next couple years? What are you hoping happens with you and your business?
So what I'm hoping is to be doing less physically demanding work myself,
Hmm.
but I would still like to be able to offer all the other regular services like entire home painting or whatever. So I probably need to hire on a couple more people, find and maybe train a couple more people that kind of fall within those key points, those values that I want. And then maybe niche out to where I could just be doing those kind of fun jobs that I like to do on the side. And because I still want to be able to enjoy it, but I don't want to be doing so much physical work anymore.
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
get
getting
it.
younger. I mean, my knees crack when I get up. No.
Girl, you sing into the choir over here. I get it. So I love that. So you want to kind of step away maybe from being on the brush so much, choose the jobs that you want to be involved in. It sounds like you've got an eye for like the decorative stuff, get involved in that, but not be doing so much of the heavy lifting, especially as you're getting older. That makes a lot of sense. Now, you've kind of got some family members involved and maybe hoping to get more family. Talk about that because I love what you got. I mean, you've got really a family business here. So what does that look like?
Yes, I would absolutely love for some of my kiddos to continue on with the business and however they see fit. Maybe they can see they've got fresh eyes and they can see like a different direction to take it into. But you met Susanna, she's my eldest daughter. She's kind of the most present right now in the business. She does come with me to work when she's got days off from her other ventures. She helps me a lot with communication, content, social media, that type of stuff. And I've had her accompany me to some of the PCA events, which have been really great.
Nice.
Just to kind of plug them there because the knowledge that you get there, I feel like is what's going to really help me get to that goal of being off the brush a little more,
Yeah.
or being able to niche, then maybe eventually kind of let the company go on to autopilot. And so it's sometimes like we have this idea, but we don't really know how to implement it. And
Mhm.
so there's a lot of people who are already there.
Yeah.
Already did that, done that, been there, done that. And so I'm hoping to keep taking notes and learning from them. And then I have two younger children, Graciela, which is she's a year younger than Susanna. And she comes with me sometimes, but not as involved, more just like they come when they want to make some extra money and so forth. And then my son, Roberto, so he's going to be 17 here next week.
Nice.
And so I try to motivate them. I'm like, hey guys, we have this business. It's pretty successful. It's doing well. We got a good reputation. We got good reviews. Come on. I try to motivate them. Come learn. The trades is where it's at. And you guys can really run with this. You can run your own group, or you can sub out. And I mean, there's like a lot of possibilities. But like, I kind of have this thing already set up for you guys,
Yeah.
where it started out just kind of as survival and being able to help them grow up and maintain, a stable household. And I was like, we're kind of getting to this point where like this could
Yeah.
really be like a big business and something that you guys can continue on with. So I feel like that's really exciting.
Absolutely. Well, maybe they'll latch onto it. I mean, I would say they're still kind of young, probably trying to figure out, their own path. But yeah, you've got something started, and it would be amazing for them to carry that on. I absolutely love that. Well, listen, I told you that this would go fast. We've already been chatting for about 27 minutes. Let me ask you this. I ask everybody this question, but what do you do to take care of yourself and show up every day for your customers, for your kids? I mean, you're still taking care of kids. You've had this whole journey of being a single mom and figuring out how to paint cabinets in someone's house with a huge disaster. You've done all of this. What do you do now to take care of yourself so that you continue to show up and be a strong business owner?
I live out in the country. I go out and put my feet on grass. I garden and I have chickens. I'm a crazy chicken lady. And I don't know, it's just really relaxing to me,
Yeah.
being able to just sit outside in the morning with my cup of coffee and watch the sunrise, and then in the evening sit outside and watch the sunset and go pick some watermelon or something out of the garden, some tomatoes, and chickens running after me. I don't know, I love it.
Awesome. So you kind of have this slower paced life. You've got, your outdoors, your gardens, your chickens. I think that sounds amazing. If someone wants to follow you or follow your painting company, where could they do that?
I'm on uh, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok as RR Painting Express. You'll see my little logo. It's me with a paint roller,
I love
green and blue, and
it. The real question is though, do you have a fax machine?
not anymore. I have it back.
All right, Melissa, this was awesome. This is exactly why I wanted to connect with you. You're a complete badass. You're inspiring us all. Melissa will be at Women in Paint in Nashville, October 28th through the 30th. Can't wait to see you there. And Melissa, thanks for joining us. And we will see you all right back here next time.
Thank you for joining us on Women in Paint. We hope you feel compelled to follow your own path and use your compassion, strength, and skills to build a career in the paint industry. And if you like this episode as much as we did, give it a simple click to subscribe so we can invite you back to our next episode. And be sure to share it on all your socials. Remember, Women in Paint, stir up more than just a can of eggshell.